Hello and welcome. I'm Three Crows Shaman. So I'm here to give you the introduction to the Spirit Connect workshop, which is going online. This is what this is about. It's a foundation to give you the tools to not only clear yourself of unwanted energies and interferences. Some of you will look at that as entities, but as you learn, you'll understand that entities are very simple things. It's just energy. It's not demons and everything that you associate with it. You need to have a better understanding. You need to have a better knowledge, and you need to put things into a better practice. I've come from deep healings. I've come from being deeply invaded by energy interferences. To be free of that and have your freedom is able to give you balance. It's able to give you what you need to see a defined purpose for your life. Now, if you're happy the way your life is going, stay there. Don't come and do this. But if you're not happy with the way your life is turning out and you have psychosimilarity, if you're facing, judgment, abuse, things never happening for you, can't hold on to money, then I recommend whatever you're facing is get this basic foundation. What you do from this basic foundation is up to you. However, the journey doesn't stop. And never should you ever feel like you've learnt something and there's nothing more to learn. You can never stop learning because things change, they evolve. Look at the evolution concept. So you think that the universe is just going to stop evolving. It doesn't stop. We have evolution. We have, animals changing to their environment. So what makes you think that the actual planetary systems don't change for the environment? But we're not going to get into big, broad concepts of that nature because that is not what I do. But I'm concerned about what you do. Because if you're just looking at this to do this for something to do with no real intention behind it, then you're not going to learn anything because you're not ready to listen. When you're ready to listen and you're ready to learn with what you can learn from this simple step one of the basic foundations for Spirit Connect. And what is Spirit? Don't go thinking that this is religion, that I'm talking about the Spirit of Jesus or the Spirit of God. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Don't confuse it with the soul because you will learn the difference between the soul and the spirit. Spirit is the energy of what made your heart beat that first moment. The energy is what gives you that full-on consciousness of there is more out there and feeling connected to people that you've never even met before. That is your spirit. To understand it, to learn it, will change your life. There's no doubt about it. And you'll see videos of testimonials and podcasts of testimonials of people that have completed this course and have changed, and many are now practitioners that work here at my healing centre on the Sunshine Coast, Queensland. What is it you want from your life? For me, what I wanted was I needed change because the person I was, I wasn't happy with. Having my taste of freedom of having energies that didn't belong to me but were entrapped in me or had me in bondage, and we're not talking as in sexual bondage or anything, we're talking that they had my thoughts in bondage. They were controlling me. They were controlling my emotions, and I would act and react from that. To having my first taste of freedom, of having an energy taken out of my physical body, was the greatest feeling and sensation I've ever had. Now, I was made a shaman by a shaman. I have a vast amount of stories to tell of my past, of this life alone. I never used to believe that there was life after death until I saw my lives. So if you don't understand the concept that energy will keep transforming and never ceasing to exist, you're not going to understand the potential of the foundations I'm going to teach you. You are a spirit in a physical body. Now, whether you're male or female, it does not matter, because energy doesn't define between masculinity and femininity. So if you're a person which is just embracing their femininity and you don't embrace masculinity, then you will be shown that you were a male in a past life. You need to accept that you've been both. If you're going to be biased, you're never going to learn. There is so much to learn. If you're going to be judgmental, you're never going to learn. Learn how to not be judgmental, to be accepting of others. And I'm not talking about love and light. Some people don't want to change. Accept it. They don't need to be around you. And to understand that once you've got this basic foundation and you're practicing it every day, how it transforms around you. That people that you thought were your friends have distanced themselves from you, and you can see clearly why. And it's not because you've had a disagreement. It's because you're vibrating at a different energy. And positive energy will attract positive energy. Negative energy will attract negative energy. And then when you can see that your positive energy attracts negative energy for it to attack you, to bring you back down, but you're stronger than it, that's what you will get from this course. To give you an idea, or not an idea, to give you some insight on what does occur. In a cycle similarity, we had a lady that didn't like the water, could not go swimming, could not put her head underwater. But what we found was where she had drowned in a past life. And just simply clearing that drowning and then having her visualize herself in the water, putting her head under the water, being able to breathe. In the physical reality, she went to the water and she was able to dunk her head under the water for the first time. It's absolutely beautiful. I had another gentleman over in Indonesia when I was over there, and he hadn't been near the water for 16 years. Couldn't even take his shoes off on the beach. And what I found was, when I got him to speak the truth, a friend of his committed suicide. He just walked out in the water and never came back. But he held on to that fear. And it wasn't his fear. Clear that. And later on that night, in the ocean off Indonesia, we were swimming in the ocean. You can change your life when you understand that it's energy. And many of you will be looking and blaming and have a reason or an excuse to why you are the way you are. Now, if that was the case, that you found a reason and excuse, why isn't it healed? Why are you still using that as an excuse? Because it's not healed. If you have a splinter in your finger, it's festering, it's pussy. When you find that splinter and you pull it out, all the infection and everything goes away and your finger heals. You never ever feel the pain again. You're never ever reminded of that festering splinter. And it is no difference to what you are needing to heal. Because if it's not healed, you haven't found the splinter to the cause of the festering. So many of you are blaming the way you are on your childhood, that it was this happened to you and that happened to you. If that was the case, why are you still so emotional about it? Some of you, my partner does this, my partner does that, my partner does this. If that was the true cause of your hurt, your feelings, why isn't it healed? I will call you on your shit. Because when you get to the truth that everything is energy, and especially when you're working in the spirit world, to work in that spirit world, you must understand spirit and how it works. You want to go, astral traveling, you want to go to this dimension and that dimension, go right ahead. How's it working out for you? Because without the foundations of understanding how it works and how to protect yourself, it's not going to work out well for you. And I'm talking about from my experience of what I observe from what other people do. So I'm not here for you to come along and do this willy-nilly. I'm talking like this is to make sure the ones that shouldn't be doing it don't do it. Because I only want the real, true people. Because those real, true people, understand this, will keep moving with what I teach and learning, and they'll adapt it. They will refine it and define it for themselves. Did you hear that? You will adapt it, you will refine it and define it for yourselves. And from that, you will heal more people. You will help more people. Each individual that has studied under me has refined and defining it and continue to refine and define what they do. Now we have the foundations all in common. Those basic foundations of Spirit Connect. And whenever I, myself, am troubled by something that I'm not fully understanding, I can simply ask to connect with them, ask them the questions and get the answers. To understand that is I can ask 3 people the same question and get the same answer. That gives me my clarity that I'm on the right track of what I'm now discovering, from what I'm now learning. That is the beauty of what I'm teaching. If you want to be part of this, watch the next part of this video.